Yo, what's going on, all my GoFundMe peeps? As you guys know, when I'm sitting in this chair, usually it's time for an update, and it's been long enough. It is definitely time to update you guys. I've been meaning to do this for the past few months, but every single time I get the energy and the time, I get plowed with another sickness, another infection, another something that takes me back to the hospital. It's been quite the rodeo these past 2 months. And that's what I wanted to really fill you guys in on and let everybody know what's been going on with me and all of my treatments and kind of where I'm at today and give you guys the skinny, so to speak. So, hi to everybody. I've missed you guys. I want to just first off start off by just saying thank you, and my gratitude just can never find the words or express enough to ever thank you guys enough for the donations that we've received since starting this campaign over a year ago, or about a year ago. Holidays have been tough, I will say that much for sure. But everything's looking good cancer-wise, so let's start there. I finished my last inpatient treatment, which I actually go into the hospitals. I get my chemotherapy. You guys are well aware of that. I took you guys on a couple episodes inside the hospital with me. That regimen is very hard on my major organs. So my heart, my kidneys, my liver, and you're only allowed a certain amount of therapies or treatments with that chemotherapy regimen. And I was allowed to have 7 treatments, and I had my 7 treatments, and we're done. I got to ring the bell, which maybe you guys can go over and check out my YouTube channel and see. But that'll be coming out over the next couple weeks if you guys follow my story. But really a beautiful moment for me and the family and the doctors, and just a time to just thank them for getting me through what I kind of call phase 1 in this treatment. My type of cancer sometimes performs really well with some of the treatments, and sometimes it doesn't react well with the treatments. And we are very fortunate that through the first 7 treatments of chemotherapy, we were able to reduce the size of my tumors by more than half that were existing. So in my stomach and my leg and my spine, we've had a tremendous response to the chemotherapy and the regimen that we've been doing thus far, which is absolutely amazing. It's why I'm here. It's why I've got my health. It's why I have my time with my kids. And that word terminal, I guess, isn't so scary, which I'll kind of get to as I give you this update. But that side of things have been absolutely amazing. We've had a really good approach, I think, me and my medical team, on what we're doing. And now as we go into phase 2, which I'll explain here later on, we definitely hope to see those same results and continued success, and, as we move forward. How's my mental health these past 2 months? And I guess that's probably been the hardest part, When we initially got the terminal diagnosis, the word terminal carries such a heavy weight to it, right? You know that you're eventually going to lose your life to this. When we first were going through this process, terminal, and had all these discussions, our scope of a timeline was a lot shorter than where we are now. We're talking a few months is what was our reality through what we were told in the circumstance that we were in. But based on how well I'm doing through treatment, and based on what we've seen in other cases, looking at my timeline now, it's definitely been extended. We're 6 months into starting chemotherapy. I'd say about 8.5 months into finding out my cancer diagnosis, and I'm still here. And initially we didn't think I would be. In looking at other similar cases, if you look at the 5-year mark, so they kind of, in cancer, you have 5-year, 10-year, 15-year. They kind of do these landmarks every 5 years, and they come out with statistics, success rate. And my success rate of people that survive past 5 years is less than 30%. So there's a 70% chance that you're not going to make it past 5 years from diagnosis, once you have a terminal diagnosis, once it's metastasized, such as we are in my case, and it's stage 4 and all that good stuff that you guys already know. So the more educated we get about this, the more we realize, like, what a blessing. Yes, it sucks. Yes, I'm in pain all the time. Yes, I have to go through these treatments every 3 weeks. Yes, I have an altered lifestyle. I lost my leg. The stories go on, right? Nothing beats the chance of having more time with my family and my kids and prolonging that and having quality time. Not like I'm just in a bed barely surviving. Like, I'm out and about. I'm in public. I'm hanging out with my family, going to the movies, going, to the store, just trying to live life as normal as we possibly can, right? Just living. And I get that. And it's the biggest blessing in all of this. But I think the biggest mental struggle is the fact that I this is my new life. And I still haven't figured it out. It's very, very, very taxing on my body. It's very, very exhausting with the pain and the meds and trying to figure out what I call programming, just getting into the day-to-day activities of life, being a parent, holding down a job, doing everything that's necessary to function in this life. And that's been the hardest part throughout all of this. I still haven't figured out employment. We literally have been living off of donations since we started our GoFundMe, if I'm being completely honest. It's just why we're so grateful for everybody that has donated and taken any bit of hard-earned money that they have and blessed us with that, because it's literally what we've been surviving off of as I've been trying to figure out the new me. And what am I going to do? My wife, we have 3 kids. She has to take care of the entire house. I still am not able to drive. I'm not able to do all the things that normally a husband does around the house to be able to pick up the other half of the job. So she's doubled down what we have to do at home. And we're still sitting there trying to figure out how she can add extra income to the household. So it's a new life. I've been the sole provider of our home for the past 15 years. And this is all very, very brand new. And I think that's probably been the hardest struggle. But what a blessing to say that trying to find a job and trying to get finances and trying to find money and trying to figure that out is the hardest part of what I'm dealing with right now when I'm facing terminal cancer, and I have to look at that as a blessing. Even though it's been the biggest struggle of my life, figuring out our finances and what I'm going to do. Because at first it's like, okay, you're not going to be here anymore. You need to deal with that. Now it's like, okay, I'm going to be here a little longer than expected. How the heck do I take care of everybody? How am I as a sole provider going to sit here and really buckle down and figure this out? And we have a few plans in place, but nothing that's making a difference at all. And again, we're still living off of those donations, and that's not going to last forever. As a matter of fact, we're really towards the end of all of that. And, I'm at another situation where we're working on some merch, I'm working on some content, working anything I can possibly do with your guys' support to be able to generate some type of revenue and income for our household as I figure this out. So mentally, that's been tough. The other thing that's really, really been tough to get used to is just my life with one leg. As you first kind of go through it, there's like the phase 1 of losing a leg, where I have all this motivation, all this energy, and all this effort to get into a prosthetic and figure that out. And unfortunately, with the position of my tumor and the pain that it causes with my prosthetic, I'm not able to walk with that yet. We're still trying to figure out a new design that doesn't put pressure on that tumor so I can get into a prosthetic and figure that out. But the limitations of having one leg it just started getting to me, it just really started wearing down. And the limitations. I mean, we went to an amusement park, and on a little kiddie ride, I couldn't even go on that with my kids because the park wouldn't allow me to, because I have one leg. Even though I'm physically capable of getting onto that ride and enjoying that ride with my kids, they told me I couldn't go on. So those are like some of the things that, as I get used to it, it's like, okay, this is my new normal. And it really hit me hard, you know. Obviously the limitations with work and all the job opportunities that I have access to, I'm still limited on the type of jobs that I can get working with one leg right now. Not that these jobs don't offer that or don't have handicap accessibility, but certain labor jobs or just being able to walk in and get any kind of job right now is difficult because of my issues, my disabilities. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years. I haven't necessarily paid into Social Security and all these other benefits. So the state's not giving us any disability. The state's not giving us any money right now. My wife and I are trying to figure out why and what we can do, especially her as a caretaker full time, taking care of me and my needs. And there should be some type of income for her at least. And we haven't been able to find any type of funding. So it's been very difficult as we kind of settle into our new reality of like, okay, we can live with cancer, we can survive with cancer. Now, how do we thrive with cancer? And that's really kind of the stage that we're at right now. As everything's settled in, reality settled in, kind of the new feeling of like, we've been diagnosed, it's terminal. Life doesn't stop and life continues. And that's really been, I think, the hard lesson these past 2 months is that, dude, life is vicious. And regardless of what you're going through, life doesn't stop. And the bills don't stop. And the kids don't stop. And the needs don't stop. And everything still continues, you know, and we as a family have to find a way to push through that and conquer these objections and conquer these small little goals that we have set out for ourselves. So is mentally taxing and physically taxing as that's been. My wife has been just a rock through all of this. If it wasn't for her throughout this process, I don't know where I would be. I would just probably give up and, you know, not be eating and not be thriving the way that I am right now. So I'm just super blessed to have my wife, super blessed to have my kids, super blessed to even be able to have today. So I don't want this update to be anything that's just like negative, but I want it real. I want it raw. I want it unedited. I want just you guys to see like, this is what I've been going through. And this is the reality of what cancer does to hundreds and thousands of homes that are out there. And it's relentless. And I need your help and I need your support. And it's not always going to be like this. You know, I've been very excited. I started Garrett Thomas Sports Cards. That's been kind of a newer venture for me. And it's my new job. I buy and sell and trade sports cards. And I do it on Whatnot. I do it on eBay. I do it at trade card shows. But that affords me the ability to work from home. I have the ability to provide an income for my family. The hardest part is I don't have a lot of money for inventory and I can't buy a lot of cards, so I can't sell a lot of cards. And the money that I do generate from it goes right back to being able to help provide for the family. So it's very hard to like reinvest that back in. So it's something that looks very, very promising. It's essentially my job right now. And I absolutely love that. So that's a new update. I found something that I'm super passionate about, something that works with my schedule. If I'm sick one day, it doesn't matter. I'm not affecting a boss or a job or somebody else. I'm not calling in sick. I'm able to really go in and live stream whenever. Think like a streamer from Kick that's doing live sales of sports cards. And that's what I do. I'm streaming, which I absolutely love doing. And I'm meeting people and I'm building community, and I'm also into sports, which it's been a huge part of my life. My kids are involved with it when we go to trade shows and card shows. I'm able to do it with a wheelchair. I'm able to do it sitting down. I'm able to do it remote. Just so much fun. So I found this over the past couple months. I'm working to building that up. So all the proceeds from my merch, from my YouTube, from my content, from everything that I'll be doing there, I'll be investing into my card business and building that up. And that's really the new venture that Garrett's doing. And it's something that really brings me a lot of happiness, a lot of time with my kids. My son is doing the shipping. My oldest son, my little kids help with coming on live and doing the streaming with me. They also go to the trade shows and just love sports in general themselves. So it's been an amazing experience with that. So it's not like I have to sit here and live off of donations forever and just continue to beg my audience for help and support. But it's definitely that time for me to be a little bit vulnerable and be honest and when things aren't always going okay, kind of let everybody know. But treatment, as I told you guys, I finished the chemo treatment as far as what we've done in-house. Okay. Now the reason why I can only do that 7 times and we can never go back to it again as successful as it was is it's just too hard on my heart. Literally your heart can explode, have a heart attack. It's very hard. It's very hard on your kidneys, your liver. So you're only allowed a certain amount of actual doses of that regimen. And we maxed out on that. We rang the bell, which you guys will see in a couple of weeks on my YouTube channel, and exited that first phase of our chemotherapy treatment and now enter into what we call our maintenance plan. Because I have tumors throughout my body that we can't surgically remove, we're beyond a miracle from God, along with medicine and everything else that we're doing. We're never going to be in complete remission of this cancer. And that's a reality. Again, through prayer, through an admission of a miracle, yes, things can happen. Things have happened. But short of that, the reality of my situation is I'm going to be living with this cancer forever. How do we treat that moving forward to be able to get the 5 years, the 10 years, the 15 years that you hear people living with cancer for that long, and you see it all the time now. And we started a new regimen called trabectin. It's a newer drug through my type of cancer in this treatment, and there's been a ton of success with being able to keep the cancer the same size or shrink it and prevent it from continuing to grow in other places. And that's the main goal of what we're doing now. Every 3 weeks, I go into the infusion center. They go through my labs. I'm there for a day. And then they give me this pump that has my chemo. And then it pumps for 24 hours. I go back the next day. They take the pump out. And then I go home. I never have to stay overnight in a hospital again for my chemo. I always am able to go home after I get my pump and everything done on that first day at the infusion center. So now the regimen is a lot less intrusive on my life. I don't lose an entire week to a hospital and then an entire week to being sick, and then I'm kind of okay for a week and I do it all over again. Now I just go to an infusion center for 8 hours. I go home, I go back the next day, they take it out, and I'm done. And I do that once every 3 weeks. So, and there is no limit on how many times we can do that. We can basically do this for 10 years, 6 months, as long as I'm not having side effects that are just impossible to bear, and we're having success with the images, meaning the cancer is not getting bigger and it's not growing in other places, then we can continue to do this trabectin essentially until I die, forever. And that's when reality really started hitting in, kind of what I was referencing earlier in the video. It's your blessing. It's the fact that I'm getting blessed with more life. I initially thought we had months left with my kids and my family, and now you're telling me I might see my oldest graduate. I might or my middle child graduate, my youngest get into high school, and all these bucket list things that I can now start setting up as short-term goals for myself. Like, this is a reality. And then again, like, oh my gosh, like, I lost my job, I lost my career, I don't have a leg, I can't drive, I don't have a car, like all these other things that we've completely stripped our lives down to nothing, and has completely flipped our lives upside down. Now it's like thriving with cancer. Okay, we've gone through all those other two phases, and now we're at that third phase of, now we need to learn how to thrive. We need to learn how to sustain work, sustain income, provide for the family, still put forward the motions and the passions and all the things that have been, put on my heart since being diagnosed, that I want to do. But getting all these things in order and really pushing away all the excuses and diving in and starting to learn how to thrive with cancer and not just survive with cancer. And that's the third and final phase, and that's the latest and greatest update. And I hope I covered all your guys' concerns or questions, or where has he been, or how's his headspace, or what's going on, and kind of answered some of those through updating you guys. Obviously, any type of help, any type of assistance, if you guys see me post any of my merch on my Instagram, or if you guys can go and look at my YouTube and like and subscribe over there and leave a comment on a video or a previous video. It's Garrett_Thomas_. I'll put that information somewhere somehow, or you guys should even see it here if it redirects you from GoFundMe to YouTube, because for some reason I have to upload this through YouTube, then to GoFundMe. It's really weird. But you guys should almost be directed to my YouTube channel. That could help support. And then, of course, our GoFundMe, any type of donation during the new year, going through, there's a lot coming up. I don't want to go into it and create this sob story of what we need to take care of. But our lease is up in March in our home, and that's a really big deal. These medical bills are piling up. I mean, the list goes on. And as much as you guys have blessed our family, we're in dire need of donations and another round of donations to be able to help us get through these next couple months while I figure out building up my new sports card business and making that sustainable, and learning how to thrive with cancer instead of just survive. But thank you guys so much. Please, if you can't afford any type of donation right now, just support the content, support the merch if you can, whenever you get a chance and you see it. Like and subscribe, I said, the YouTube channel. I try to do that more consistently because it's a way to bring income for our family. So thank you guys so much for being there for us. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this journey, and thank you guys so much for already donating. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put some pictures too. I almost forgot. I can't believe this is at the very end, but I almost want to take you guys over there. I bought, with your guys' donations, the biggest thing that has brought the biggest smile on my face. It's going to be on the latest YouTube video that's going to come out in a couple days. But you guys got me an electric wheelchair. I've been going around this manual wheelchair that the hospital gave me when I first got my leg amputated from forever ago. And it's one of those drive wheelchairs, like $100 on Amazon. And I've been having my wife push me around on that thing. And it's darn near impossible in all circumstances to use that wheelchair. And we've been patiently waiting. We've had other companies hit us up. These things are not cheap, man. When you start getting into motorized wheelchairs, they can get all the way up to $10,000. But for way less than that, we were able to find the best fit, and you guys can see it. I'll go ahead and upload a few pictures of it here on the GoFundMe. But oh my gosh, you guys blessed me with the most beautiful electric wheelchair. It's got a backpack fixed to the back. It's sitting position. I get to drive it with the joystick. It goes 4.5 miles an hour. It's got a flashlight. It's got a cup holder. It's got a basket underneath. It's made with leather and just steel, and is like the baddest wheelchair in the world, man. Everywhere I go, people compliment me all the time. It makes me feel so proud, when this is usually something that makes me feel so insecure. So through your guys' donations, through you guys basically sponsoring my family and donating to us, we took that money and went and bought this wheelchair about a month and a half ago to 2 months ago. And it's been the best purchase of my life. I've been hiding it from you guys. I've been wanting to do a big reveal, but I keep getting sick. I keep having to go to the hospital. I keep getting knocked out, and just the chemo kept beating me up. And it was almost like trying to prevent me from blessing you guys with this video and showing you the blessings that you've poured upon me. But I can't believe I almost forgot. But that's like the highlight of my last 2 months, is getting this wheelchair from you guys, my donors. Specifically bought this for me. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to afford this, and I'd still be sitting there trying to figure out life in my manual chair. So thank you guys so much. Check out the next YouTube video. It's going to have a review of that chair. It's a very quick review, but at least you get to see it in person and see it work and operate. And then I'll go ahead and attach a couple pictures if I can. It's probably me sitting in the chair, but at least there's a couple pictures of the chair as an update with this video as well on the GoFundMe. But thank you guys so much for following along our story. I love you guys so much. Please don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out my Instagram. It's the same, Garrett_Thomas_. Check me out on Whatnot for the sports cards. If you guys ever want to hop in and buy a couple cards, it's also Garrett Thomas Sports Cards. But I love you guys so much. I'll keep you guys posted as much as I possibly can. I don't know if I have to start a new GoFundMe or if we keep this one going, but I'll keep everybody updated on that and redirect everybody there as well. My Instagram has the most updates. If you're looking for more day-to-day updates and stuff on my life, I do my best. I'm not on there all the time, but I do my best to update everybody through Instagram as well. So please go to my Instagram and follow me there too if you happen to see this video and don't follow me currently. But love you guys so much. Can't express that enough. And thank you guys so much for your support. Anyways, see you guys on the flip side. Peace.